Welcome back to Afternoon Express. And speaking about coming back to the show today, Tropica Island of Treasure is back. And are you ready to join South Africa's hottest celebrities in the Seychelles to become a TV star?
You could be joining the show's host, Minnie Dlamini, and Games Master Jonathan Boynton Lee with the 7 celebrities you could team up with.
They are MT, Jessica Nkosi, Anga Makubalo, Carleen van Jaarsveld, Maurice Page, Zakia Patel, and Siv Ngesi.
You could be part of the 7 smooth teams who will compete on the tropical island of the Seychelles. Each team will strive to outdo one another to stand a chance of winning the R1 million grand prize.
Sure. All you have to do is purchase a Tropica and follow the instructions on pack. Go to tropica.co.za and follow the conversation online using hashtag TIOT7.
Talking of sun, spring is on its way, and now is the perfect time to start working on those green fingers. Bonnie has some ideas in our garden.
Welcome to the Freshpak Natural Goodness series. As parents, we need reassurance that we're making healthy choices for ourselves and for our families. Fortunately, with the natural goodness of Freshpak, you know you're doing just that. Health begins at home, and what better way to make sure we get all the goodness we need by planting our own veggies. And it is an activity the whole family can do together. Joining us today to give us some tips on making our own veggie patch is a garden expert and owner of Urban Harvest, Ben Getz. Welcome to the Loft, Ben.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you with us. So Ben, tell us about your Urban Harvest initiative.
So Urban Harvest is a social enterprise which I started 10 years ago. In fact, today we've just finished the installation of our 300th food garden. What we do is we design, install and maintain organic food gardens. We do this at homes, hotels and restaurants, and then closest to my heart, we do it at community projects. So that would be like creches, community centers and schools in underprivileged areas. So we set up these gardens that provide food for the beneficiaries, but we're also creating jobs. We have garden champions that are managing the gardens with our support. We have kitchen champions that are getting fresh produce from the gardens, making that into fresh food and which is fed to the beneficiaries on a daily basis. And then of course there's a whole program of upskilling of both the garden champion, the kitchen champion, and also the learners, the young people. And one of the other aspects that I like is that we work a lot with beneficiaries that have, for example, hearing impaired or sight impaired or physically less abled, and we custom design the program to suit the beneficiaries so that everyone gets to benefit not only from the fresh produce but from the experience of being involved in an organic farm.
What are the benefits of growing your own veggie garden?
There's obviously a lot of benefits. Some of them are more obvious. In this case, you're getting chemical-free, travel mile-free and packaging-free food. And it's not just food, it's the freshest food you can have. That's one of our important aspects, is that it's food straight from micro farm to table. So in the case of the community projects, the food is grown, harvested, prepared and fed to hundreds of learners every single day. So then there's of course that nutritional benefit, but there's a lot of other benefits including upskilling. There's the occupational benefit. It's like occupational therapy. In fact, I like this line, I've come across it a few times. It's gardening is cheaper than therapy and you get tomatoes.
Wow.
So it's really, it's a fun activity.
Yeah.
But one of the aspects that I like best is the aesthetic. So actually bringing beauty into the communities, a green space, and a biodiverse space, and a space in which the learners, the students, and also of course children and adults can learn.
And for those of us wanting to start our own gardens at home, what are the important things to remember?
The first thing is to find the right spot for the gardens. It needs to get a lot of sun.
Okay.
It also needs to be ideally sheltered from the wind. Another aspect, an important aspect, probably the most important, is to maintain healthy soil, and that's why we use an organic and natural approach, adding of organic soil conditioners, and then always covering the soil with mulch. And then planting, you obviously need to plant seasonally, so the right plants at the right time, and also good companion planting practice. For example, a mix of spinach and cabbage, and even to have some culinary herbs in with your vegetables, because that's one of the natural ways of managing pests.
And how do we make sure that our veggie garden lasts and yields a good harvest?
One of the things is that if your vegetable garden looks good from the start and is well designed from the start, and it is in the right position, you've got a much higher chance of success.
Right.
Then, of course, is your day-to-day maintenance. So there's the basics like weeding, watering, but more importantly, or equally importantly, is feeding. So we can use organic, homemade liquid fertilizers, or you can buy liquid fertilizers that are organic. And then just in general, treat your plants with love and care, and be abundant. Whatever you invest in the garden, you get out. And that's one of the things that the students from the schools learn, is you reap what you sow.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that kids like to get involved as well. Why is this a good activity for them to get involved with?
It's absolutely fantastic activity, because they're it's an all-body experience. They're actually moving their bodies, they're being active, they're learning new things. In fact, children can do practically every aspect of vegetable garden installation and maintenance. They can be involved in it, and often with a lot more enthusiasm than we might. Of course, the benefits is learning where their food comes from, developing a respect and a love for nature, and then just the sheer enjoyment of harvesting fresh organic produce, especially in underprivileged communities where the diet is maybe the variety of things people are eating is quite limited. I think it's really important that people learn about new vegetables, new herbs, and certainly the projects that we run do that for the kitchen champions, the ladies and gentlemen that are preparing food for the learners, but the learners themselves get to harvest fresh and eat while they're walking through the garden.
Now, with the veggie patch, we're obviously getting our goodness directly from the ground, but what we drink as well is just as important. What do you recommend we drink, especially for kids?
Well, as you say, keeping hydrated is super important. I mean, here we are drinking rooibos. Rooibos is absolutely fantastic. What I love about it is it's uniquely South African. It's an indigenous plant. And also what's lovely is that the used tea bags can be opened, and you can use the rooibos tea as a mulch and even as a soil conditioner. It's high in antioxidants, and the vegetables love it too.
Wow, that's absolutely great. Thank you so much.
What a pleasure.
Freshpak Rooibos is all about choosing the healthy way, with so many delicious flavored options to choose from, like honey, lemon, watermelon and mint, and cranberry and pomegranate. It's so easy to enjoy all the beneficial antioxidants, no caffeine, and of course the natural goodness of Freshpak Rooibos. And it's delicious served hot or cold. If you'd like to win a Freshpak hamper consisting of a selection of delicious teas, then pick up your phone and SMS the keyword Freshpak, your name and city, to 33728 now. SMSs cost R1.50, T's and C's apply, and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Until next week, keep yourself and your family happy, healthy, and enjoying life with the natural goodness of Freshpak Rooibos.